Hi everybody, daily prescriptions for a better life. I hope you're well today. Somebody asked me recently, and as a consequence of putting out my video yesterday about things not to say when someone's experiencing mental health challenges and/or is returning to work, I was asked, well, what's best to say? Having reflected on it, I can't see that you can have a set dialogue. There's no set language. Now, speaking from somebody who's experienced this, albeit many years ago when I was in banking and went back to work and was experiencing these challenges, even with friends, loved ones, and in particular going back to work, it was almost like I could sense people's awkwardness, as if they were going to catch it because they spoke to me. I mean, it's just ludicrous. You know, I don't know if I'd have been any different if I hadn't have gone through something like that. I like to think I would be, but I can only say it from the receiver's point of view and having experienced it myself, what it's been like. So I don't believe that you can have a set language, um, a script to follow, or like there is today all over the place, 5 steps to success, 3 steps to wellness. I think honestly that's nonsense when it comes to mental health, mental awareness, and emotional well-being. How can you put everybody into one pot? That's much like things that are happening at the moment with prescribed medication and drugs. One antidepressant fits all, albeit there are many kinds, but you might be given the same tablet that I'm given. And how can that help? You might be prescribed the same thing as me. And I mean, that happens not just in mental health, but in health in general. And we're both different. We're all different. What suits me doesn't suit you. Your situation is not mine. You might be having mental health challenges because you're bipolar. There's a chemical imbalance. Although, in my opinion, there may be more to that than meets the eye sometimes. I may be going through it because I've just had a baby, for instance, postnatal depression. Somebody else because of consequences from experiences in childhood, through trauma, through abuse, through rape, through shock. So how can you treat people the same? So in my opinion, I would say, you're not going to catch it by speaking to someone. How would you like to be spoken to? How would you like to be treated? Think of the statement, honor one another. We all deserve to be treated with the same level of respect, the same consideration. Get out of your own way, get over yourself, and speak to that other person. Open up a conversation, just simply starting by asking them, how are you today? Are you feeling okay today? Even to the point of, I don't know you, but I can acknowledge that you've been off, you're back at work. I hope you're doing okay. Can I get you a cup of tea? I'm going to get myself one. Or if I can do anything for you, if you need any help, just shout. Just be civil, be humane. Trust your instincts. It's a bit like someone having cancer. Why should this be any different? If someone's been off, been unwell because they've not been well in their mind or with their emotions, you don't know what's going on with someone, what has been going on. That's none of your business. Just be kind, be generous, be civil, be humane. Some people treat animals better than they treat other human beings. And animals need consideration and kindness too, don't get me wrong, but come on. And if you're a manager at work I was very well treated by the head of the banking world, at Barclays anyway, years ago. Not necessarily so by branch managers. Not that I was ill treated, but be generous. If someone's just come back to work because they've been unwell in that way, speak to them, welcome them back, ask them how they are, if there's anything that can be done to make that transition back to work any easier, as good as can be. Just open your hearts. This has got to change because the mind, the body, the spirit, the mind is everything. Our thoughts, our behaviors, our visions, our imagination. It trains the body to respond in a certain way to feelings, energy, and yet we treat it with such disregard, contempt, fear. So I'll leave you with, honor one another. Listen to someone. Ask them how they are. I'll just finish off because yesterday I mentioned this can be similar to bereavement. When I worked with young people and families, there was a young man who'd returned to work when his sister-in-law had been taken ill very suddenly and died more or less on the spot. And I was just conscious that he'd returned to the office, which was also part of my office, and nobody was speaking to him. It was like he was being ignored and ostracized. And that was our problem, our responsibility, his colleagues, not his. So I made a point of going to speak to him and said, look, I don't know you. I know your name. I know you've been off. And I know that you've been off because somebody close to you died. And I just wanted to say, hello, welcome back, and I hope you're doing okay. And if you'd like to talk, I've got some time to spare to listen. And can I get you a cup of tea? And he said yes to the tea, and he just started talking. And I just let him talk and listened. It was not my place to comment because I didn't know the situation, but I listened, gave him that space. And after that, he thanked me and he said, you're the only person who's spoken to me today. I feel bad enough. I understand that people may not know what to say, but just to say what you've said, that you don't know what to say, is good enough. And thank you. Now, I didn't do anything special. I didn't have a dialogue, a 5 steps to this and a 3 pathways to that. I was just being human, sensing, using my intuition, and being kind and being nice. So honor one another. Treat an illness, a dis-ease of the mind, just like you would the body. It's no different. It's just our perception of it. And you won't catch anything by speaking to someone. Thank you for listening. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.